Hey, what's up, guys? Twintuitive717. I'm back with another reading. Let's dive right into a collective message about what it is you need to know while you're walking this twin flame journey, okay? So I don't know what could be going on your path, but I want to help bring some clarity and some truth, okay? I ask that the universe use me to help provide messages for you that bring you peace of mind, okay? It helps you to make clear decisions, and it helps you to remain your authentic self on the journey. So I want to use the Romance Angel Oracle deck because I do feel like there could be a lot of distortion that many of you may be facing. So it's really difficult to trust your divine masculine, okay? So I feel like for the divine feminines, it's very difficult to trust your divine masculine. So many of you may be at a standstill where it really stops the connection from progressing. So I'm going to draw one card. I'll cut the deck in half. And then I'll draw one card on what it is you need to know about the truth of your connection to your twin flame, okay? So we have past life relationship. And this could have a lot to do with the trust and a lot of the blocks and fears that you feel. You guys can't stay away from one another because you feel too familiar with each other. And something that comes through is the universe won't stop providing you with opportunities to get to know one another, and that's where the love is coming from. It comes from the familiarity between souls, okay? I feel like you two are just beginning to connect in the physical, and it's the physical interactions and certain things like touch and eye contact and smells. It really is very familiar to many of you, and I feel like a lot of what is happening in the silence and separation is recognition, okay? A chance to recognize who it is you are. So honor the silence at this time, because I do feel like many of you need to trust that this contract is something that there's no controlling it. Divine timing really is at play. As deep and intense as this connection might feel to this person, you can't control the outcome, okay? It's like something is playing out maybe from a past life. There could be a lot of I'm picking up a lot of anxiety about being separated, and I think that that's why you two have really chased each other into this lifetime as well. So I feel like I'm being asked to tell you through this reading, do your best to manage anxious feelings when you are separated from someone. You know, take opportunities to look around you and stop and smell the roses, or stop and smell the coffee. I feel like there is so much to enjoy and focus on. You may be getting signs or hints or clues around being able to heal how it is you feel about spending time on your own, or about being on your own, or the need to not always be in a relationship with somebody else. I feel like a lot of this collective may be learning lessons around communication as well, because the thing with past life relationship is, what I'm getting with separation is separation really does trigger the both of you. And I think that when you're in separation, it is the biggest sign that you're on a twin flame journey, because the longing and desire to be close to one another again, that is created from separation. It is just unbearable until you're able to break through a lot of your ego and pride and really just step forward, okay? And I feel too like it is the way that your twin accepts you. It doesn't matter how long you've been in separation, the way that they just wholeheartedly love and accept you. Yeah, it really is just a beautiful thing. So let that soothe your heart, and that way, if many of you are in separation, a lot of the anxiety that you feel is about needing to know the outcome. And really, at this time, the universe is showing you there is no need to know any particular outcome. It is literally a pause in action, okay? And sometimes that pause in action could represent the Hanged Man, and the reason it feels so uncomfortable is because you're literally hanging upside down. You can't really see things clearly, or it's very difficult to maybe make things out. If you're just trying to piece things together and you're hanging upside down, it's going to take your brain a moment to really put it together. So take that as a sign of somebody just needing time and space to put things together in their mind, and that's totally okay. And I feel like maybe that may be a message for you, Divine Feminine, as to give this masculine time and space, okay? Because we do have inner child healing coming up, okay? And I'm getting to there's a lot of love that they feel for you, and that is why separation is triggering them. And I feel like they're dealing with a double-edged sword, where it's like being away from you is painful, and then being in your presence is painful, because there's only so long it feels good until there's some kind of minor thing that pops up that makes them want to run. But again, I do feel like for many of them, they are experiencing a lot of healing around rejection, loss, things like abandonment, feeling fragmented, which is like their head in all different kinds of places, bringing upon them the worst case scenario. Like what I'm getting to with rejection and loss is like a lot of your divine masculines are very sensitive, and this could be based off of attachment issues or even just past relationships. I feel like when they were younger, like, you know, just young, where you start dating and you start experiencing relationships, I have a feeling like they experience a lot of rejection and maybe just really shallow energy when it came to some of the feminine encounters that they had, or encounters, sorry, with feminine energies. They might have seen some kind of darker sides of feminine energy, or just really a lot of imbalance and not being able to appreciate a lot that they were bringing to the table. So it creates this energy within them. I feel like that's why many of you may be experiencing separation. A lot of your divine masculines, like I'm getting this beautiful, gentle energy that many of them oftentimes stay away from you because like they don't want to bring the chaos onto you. Because they, first of all, they know you're not going to put up with it. But more so, aside from that, rather, they really just they don't want to bring that to you. It's almost like this embarrassed feeling that I'm getting. But the reason this person is taking space right now is because this past life card is coming up. They don't want to repeat things from the past. So if they are going silent, it's because they don't want to maybe explode, or they don't want to say the wrong thing. I feel like someone is trying to say to you, I'll communicate once I'm ready. Okay, they could be working on self-worth, expectations as well. And expectation, guys, I feel like this card goes a long way for those of you who are experiencing lessons around communicating and communication and not being afraid to make things awkward. Like, I feel like from the divine feminine's perspective, it's like you may be afraid to say certain things because you don't want to push. But you have to be afraid to push, because even if a separation does occur, or they go off and they go silent, whatever the case is, I mean, you're not necessarily going to push back. And if you do, that's what you have to work on, you know, because this connection is about honestly expressing ourselves. You shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around a person. You should be able to be authentic. Oftentimes you'll find that with the divine masculines, that's the lesson that can come into play, is that it's either you walk on eggshells and you don't trigger them because you're so afraid of them ghosting or running because it triggers your abandonment wounds. When you work on your abandonment wounds and you're not afraid of being abandoned because you feel fulfilled on your own, right, with self-worth, you have clear expectations of yourself and your journey. And I feel like when you have expectations of yourself, it's easier to give somebody else space. And I feel like that's what again, is occurring between you two in terms of the growth. It's definitely the divine masculines here that may be the ones pulling back. Okay, this is our confirmation that this is, just lessons around the silence and the separation. And yes, it is triggering because it may be scary and you want to know, like, when will we communicate again? When is this going to end? Are we ever going to communicate again? Like, certain fears can come up. Just observe it. And also too, I've been meaning to say as well, and it's been a thought that has been in the back of my mind, is like, allow yourselves to feel. Like, if you guys do experience rejection, like a sudden loss of the connection, pay attention to those emotions and don't bury them up or cover them up or make excuses for them. Just feel wholeheartedly what it's like to love and then have that feeling just snatched away from you. Like, I mean, it's just all part of the ride. It's like we live in a world of duality, of yin and yang, so we have to expect, this is the yin and yang oracle. So we have to expect that there's going to, be really high highs and at times very low lows, but still you're able to find that balance. Okay, we have action, courage, Jupiter energy, so new beginnings. But with those new beginnings, you have to be willing to take a step back and let a death occur, let a cycle close itself out, let the tower fall. And what I mean by that is let the separation occur. stop feeling the need to reach out, stop feeling the need to repair or to fix things or to make amends or to apologize, especially when you haven't done anything wrong. Maybe you might have spoken your truth or you would have spoken your piece. And this person is using silence or separation as a way to run. They'll eventually learn by you not intervening or chasing that, they have to deal with their emotions, and maybe they might take accountability and responsibility for the way that they're reacting. And that's another lesson for many of you who may resonate. It's like you can't take responsibility for somebody else's reaction and the way that they react to things. So yeah, that is what I'm getting, for this collective in terms of why the silence is happening. Allow yourself to receive and just be open to everything that is occurring, even if it feels completely terrible and sad and like it isn't ending. Allow things to be. Just allow things to be without feeling the need to control the outcome. Trust that the universe has a plan and trust that everything is happening for a reason. Okay, let's get some more truth behind just that bond and love that you two share. And it's easy to forget that sometimes when the towers are falling. But what other card wants to go along with this past life relationship to help confirm the connection between you two? Okay, so we have reconciliation. So reconciliation tells me that I think that many of you will heed this message very well in terms of just allowing things and letting go. And if you are feeling a lot of anxiety around, this kind of breakup that really and truly, when you think about it from a logical place, me and my divine masculine would always joke about this. It's like we're not even together, but we experience that whole breakup energy. It's like, whoa, we're not even in a relationship, but every time we go through that kind of separation of just feeling like I'm done, please, just stay away from me, don't ever contact me again type of feeling, right? Many of us go through it because it's so triggering to be in this reconciled energy with your twin flame. It can be just awful, okay? An awful feeling like it's the end and that you've done all the spiritual work for nothing and that the journey doesn't exist. And, it literally does feel like a loss, kind of like what's coming up here in this card. But I feel like, again, many of you are moving past those fears, and a lot of you are experiencing reconciliation a lot sooner and sooner. And even if you are experiencing long periods of separation, I feel like a lot of you are starting to trust that there's a reason for everything that's occurring. So instead of, lowering your vibration even more, many of you are just taking that space as an opportunity to breathe again. And yeah, it's coming through as a really beautiful and grounded energy. Okay, so let's see what many of you should be focused on at this time. Okay, and I want to just pull some cards for the divine feminine energy first. Okay, what should you be focused on at this time? Sometimes it can be really exciting to get this reconciliation energy and then be impulsive about things, but I really do feel like just allow the masculine the time and space to work through whatever's stopping them from taking action. Okay, in the meantime, where should your focus be for the divine feminine collectives? Okay, so we have the 5 of Winter. Okay, so this is about letting go and walking away. Okay, so maybe things between you two really needed to end, or you needed to go through this cycle and separation, because we do have disharmony and triggers. Okay, and that says that maybe you two weren't always being honest with one another. Maybe the connection that you're in, both of you know that you're living a double life, or that you can't just go on a date, or you can't be seen in public together. That's bound to hit a brick wall at some point or another. I feel like the universe could be screaming at many of you that there are certain tower moments that need to be addressed. You will have to address certain things in this lifetime because your twin flame has entered the picture and stirred shit up. Many of you will have to address what divorce looks like. Many of you will have to know what it's like to relocate. Many of you will know what it's like to have to quit your job and start over and start from scratch and, embrace entrepreneurship, because, there are big things that you have kind of made a pact with your soul to complete, especially if you're awakening on this whole twin flame journey. Many of you can't run from the experiences that this whole love and passion and sexual attraction, has been bringing to you. That's just the beginning. that attraction, that's just the beginning. Wait until you two actually start realizing that you love one another, that it's more than just good sex, or that it's more than just, passion and games with one another, and that it's exhilarating. Like, wait till you two actually start realizing that, wait, shit, like, I can't do without this person. Okay, so you are being called to allow this new energy to come in, but you can't do that if you're just holding on to an old cycle with them. Okay, the rest of the card here says, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness. Okay, so let go of it, right? Look at what's in front of you and dissolve that first, because you guys can't, many of you maybe know for sure this is what you want, but is this what you want like this? Like how it's currently set up, where you guys push and pull and go through cycles. And again, I'm sensing the word secrecy for a lot of you, having to do this whole twin flame connection thing in secret. And it's been taking a spiritual toll on your emotions. Just everything has just been feeling like it's been wanting to just crash. Okay, and that's the feeling of it wanting to come out in the open. That's that tower moment. Okay, so something that's not worth the effort. And I'm hearing lies. And as harsh as it sounds, I really do feel like living a lie has a lot to do with that. It's like many of you are starting to realize there are certain connections that you're in that you've outgrown them. And you're starting to question why it is you stay and why it is you're afraid to leave. And it just feels really overwhelming at times. So you choose to shut it all down and just stay put where you are. But then your twin flame journey starts, popping up everywhere, the synchronicities, a lot of the feelings. A lot of the universe pointing towards something big or something major shifting within you. You can feel it. So, yeah, let's draw one last card and then we will wrap up the message in this reading, okay? Where should Divine Masculines, where should they be focused? So we have the Two of Cups here, okay? So falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone. That's why reconciliation is coming through, okay? So forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. So I feel like they're very focused on you at this time, Divine Feminine. It could just be that they're at that place on their journey where they are being called to just forget work, forget, other relationships right now. Like your love life needs your attention, okay? Your heart needs your attention, and your heart misses your Divine Feminine. The way that you two have been communicating or going about this journey, it's not been beneficial to either of you, and your soul can feel it. So I feel like for many of the Divine Masculines at this time, they're focused on this reconciliation energy because they can't get away from you and the fact that you just feel good to them. You feel familiar. And yeah, maybe in the physical world, you two may be complete opposites, but at the same time, when you're together, that feeling of just being in love makes them feel secure. Okay? So that's where their head's at. Okay? So if you guys have enjoyed, then great. If you guys want to do a personal session with me, all of the details are in the description box. Check out my community feed. You can find me on HYPSEE. I'd love to work with you guys one-on-one. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next reading, okay? All right, take it easy, guys. Bye.